Welcome guys, this is Ola from Stop Me O channel. Now 2 days ago Life is Strange 2 posted the small teaser, sort of a sneak peek into the episode. I already watched that, so this is not actually a reaction video, but I would like to point out some things and discuss the predictions yet again. I already did a predictions video, but we might as well discuss it again. We're getting closer and closer to the episode, the final episode. Yeah, it's been like more than a year. First episode was released in September and it's like November right now. Final episode will be out beginning of December. I still have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know, it's very hard to speculate at this point. I think with Life is Strange, the original game, it was easier to theorize because of Rachel and because of the whole who's the killer question. In Life is Strange 2, it's mostly a story about the boys, and your guess is just as good as mine when it comes to where it's actually heading. I do have some ideas, but I'm not sure. I think testers already played it. I don't think they're allowed to share their opinion. If they already did, then I'm not allowed to share that. Anyways, let's watch that small sneak peek and then we'll discuss some things.
I love you. No matter what happens. You hear me?
Yeah. I love you too. Diaz brothers. Always.
I'm not actually sure if Journey's End is the title of the episode. I don't think it is. I think that will be revealed along with the proper trailer that we might get in like 2-3 weeks, probably more than 3 weeks. So I doubt that's the episode's name, and if it is, it's not the greatest. You might as well just name it Final Episode, like Journey's End. Every final episode, every game's ending is a certain journey's end. It's somewhat touching that we've reached that moment, that we're closer and closer to the ending. Like I mentioned many times, I did have some problems with that game, but over the course of the final year, I did grow close to Sean and Daniel, or Sean mostly, not Daniel not as much. I think the ending might hit me. I think it might. There are some big fans out there. Life is Strange 2 big fans, people that are very dedicated to the franchise, and I believe they know that it will be very emotional for them. For me, I'm not really certain because of these certain problems that I had with the game that I discussed, that I might discuss again after the game is done. Sometimes you don't really know how to feel about a movie or a book or a game until you reach its ending. I feel like this is what's going to happen with Life is Strange 2. I'm still sort of torn, like I enjoy it, I like it. Then again, I'm not as crazy about it as I was with the original game or even before the storm. But I can fully anticipate that the ending might be actually something very powerful. I might get emotional, cry like a baby like I did during the farewell episode. That was terrible. Sometimes you ask me in the comments section, hey, so if you have problems with Life is Strange, why don't you just say that you dislike the game? That's not the case with me. I can't say that. I can't say that I love it. I can't say that I dislike it, because it really feels like the ending will define that for me. It really feels like it's that type of creation that will be determined by how it's finished. So depending on that ending, we'll see. What I've noticed in that small sneak peek is that they actually slept there. If you have a look right there, there are sleeping bags, some plates, there's a fireplace, food, so they spent the night there. Initially when I saw the trailer, I thought that maybe Karen is actually driving them to the border. I think that's the Grand Canyon, right? So they're still on the road, technically speaking. I thought that maybe Karen was driving them to the border and that she stayed in the car while they went to check out the Grand Canyon. But then I noticed the sleeping bags and fireplace. It just doesn't seem like Karen is with them. It seems like they're alone again, and I don't know how to feel about that, because it's odd. Like, I know that Karen gave up her life as a mother, but then again, she did show up again. She was trying to help Daniel out. She helped Sean. I'm not really sure if it would be natural for her to drop them again. Maybe they insisted, maybe they were like, Karen, you know what, we're good, we don't need you, we're going to Mexico. But her role as an adult would be to say, no, you're not going, that plan is sort of ridiculous, it's dangerous, you cannot cross the border on your own, you don't have your documents with you. It's just odd, like, unless they run away from her. Maybe they run away from her, maybe she was like, you need to stay with me, and Sean decided that he actually wants to pursue the Mexico plan. But based on the previous episodes, with plenty of adults acting as if they don't really care about their plan enough to actually stop them, Karen possibly let them go. I mean, she was free-spirited after all. I was wondering about that in the previous episode. I thought that maybe Karen would still be there along for the journey in episode 5, but it just seems like Karen's out of the picture. What about other people that we met along the way, like Finn or Cassidy, or what's that dude's name? The one that everyone likes and I disliked him? Brody. Yeah, Brody. Or Lila, that's a good question. Now, I don't think we will actually see any of these characters. I don't think we will. Obviously, there's that trial theory going on that Sean will be actually put in custody and that he will have to stand in front of a juvenile court. All the people that we met will show up as witnesses. I don't think that's the case. Lila might show up, but like she has no knowledge when it comes to any of the events really. Like what kind of a witness would she be? Like just talking about how she's secretly in love with Sean? I don't think so. Cassidy is probably long gone, which is odd because it just seems like she was the main romance in episode 3. Like Finn was also there, but it wasn't as big as Cassidy, considering the fact that it was possible to sleep with Cassidy but not with Finn. Then again, we did say goodbye to Finn. We sort of said goodbye to Cassidy. Brody was a one-time adventure, I'm certain. Honestly, I wouldn't be really hopeful when it comes to seeing these characters again. Now, Lila. Lila is a fan's favorite. I'm not sure the developers anticipated just how popular she would be. She's the type of a likable character that you'd see in the original Life is Strange, like possibly Kate was. Someone said that on my Discord, like I don't think they actually anticipated that people would be crazy about a certain friendship, because they were in the original game. And then in the second game they repeated that theme, although they never fully explored it, so it was suggested, it was hinted that Lila's in love with Sean, but they never really explored that, and I'm getting worried that they might not explore it. Some people pointed out in the comments that the voice actress, the Lila voice actress, is not really tweeting about the franchise at all. It just seems like she moved on. Maybe she's like that. Maybe she's just laying low, or maybe we won't see her again, and that would be sad because it was such an interesting topic and I really wanted to have that confrontation with Sean and Lila. Then again, how would that happen? Like I doubt they could go back to their normal life given the fact that Esteban is dead, our mother doesn't live in Seattle anymore, our grandparents are in Beavers Creek. Assuming that we would get a happy ending, I bet this is where we'd go, or we'd claim a land in Mexico. I don't know. So yeah, it just seems like we will be crossing the border, we will reach Mexico, and I'm not certain how much time has passed, but if you have a look at Sean and Daniel's hair, they grew back, thank God, because they looked terrible in the previous episode. Now they have proper haircuts again, the same ones that they had in episode 3, which is nice, but it also means that it's been at least a month or 2 months. The game was supposed to happen over the course of 1 year, given the fact that Esteban died around Halloween. It would be nice if we reached Puerto Lobos around Halloween, so around the Day of the Dead, Mexican celebration. That would be really nice. Like, I would be happy if we actually celebrated the dead the way Mexican people do. We would celebrate and appreciate Esteban. I feel like that would be very touching and I'd love for that to happen. So fingers crossed for that. I hope we will never face a juvenile court. I mean, there are some achievements that would suggest so, that would suggest that we will actually spend some time in jail. Maybe someone is still after us, like some sort of a crazy policeman. There's a theory going on that David will actually appear in episode 5. I think Michelle Koch tweeted that there's a detail that everyone missed in episode 4, and then people figured out that it's actually a passcode, and that the passcode was David's birthday or something. I don't know how the hell you find that stuff. Like, that's really impressive. Yeah, like if it's that detail, it could mean that we will see David in episode 5, but it could also mean that it was just an Easter egg and there's nothing to it. I'm not certain. Like, I usually tend to lean towards a simpler solution, so that it was just an Easter egg. Let's not forget that There was a Max model in the game, and we still haven't met Max. I was told that Max was supposed to be there in one of the episodes, yet she never really appeared, so maybe they just dropped that idea. Maybe they were sick of people claiming that they want Max and Chloe back. I'm neither here nor there. I'd love to see Max and Chloe again. Then again, they don't really deserve to be placed in a secondary role somewhere in the background. So if we're not getting a second game with Max and Chloe, then I'm alright with not having that Easter egg. I'm okay with not having them in the game. But of course I will be happy if they actually do appear. Are we going to cross the border? Hopefully. Are we going to get caught? We might. How is the game going to end? I feel like there will be multiple endings, and it will depend on how we treated Daniel, on how we raised him, although I do feel like we reached that moment with Daniel when we're actually very close and he will be listening to us. I'm not certain if his behavior, the way we taught him, will actually matter end of the day. I can't imagine a situation when he doesn't help us out with anything at all after all that we've been through. Crazy hippies or like crazy sect people. I feel like we're now closer than ever. Maybe that episode will focus on the journey again, like Rhodes did the first episode. There's a reference, the wolves howling. That's a reference to episode 1, Rhodes. It seems like we will spend a lot of time closer to nature, like in episode 1. This will be a proper road trip. We will be on the move and we will reach the wall, which is or isn't there. Depends on where we hit the border. Are we going to say goodbye to Daniel? We might. Although I thought that maybe it would be a choice for Daniel to leave with Karen, and we're still here, Karen's not here, so it seems like if it was a choice for Daniel, he picked staying with us. Will one of them die? Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I'm sort of worried that Sean might be the one to actually die. Perhaps if we actually reach Puerto Lobos, if we find Esteban's family, if we find the land that he owned, possibly Sean will die and it will be revealed that the game's purpose was getting Daniel to safety. We have to protect Daniel because of his abilities. His abilities are something that people cannot know about. By taking him to Mexico, we are sort of protecting him from that. Maybe Sean's purpose in that game was making sure that Daniel is safe with some relatives and then leaving him there, running away on our own. Maybe Sean will prefer to distance himself from Daniel in order to protect him. I'm not certain. I feel like this is where the game's heading, but we might as well get caught, get taken back to Seattle, and we might stand in front of a juvenile court. That's a possibility as well. There might be a trial. I really don't know. Like, my guess is just as good as yours. So please let me know what you think. What are your thoughts when it comes to the ending? I feel like it might be emotional. It might hit me hard, harder than I would expect. It would be really nice to see Mexican culture, the Day of the Dead celebration in Mexico if we actually do reach Puerto Lobos. There might be a dark ending in stock for Sean, given how tragic his story was thus far. He committed crimes in order to survive. I'm not certain if that's something that he can get out of right now. I'm really intrigued and I can't wait. So if you have any ideas, do comment. We'll try to discuss that in the comments section. You can join my Discord, Stop Me Out Discord server. The invite will be down below in the comment. We're discussing Life is Strange 2 over there as well as some other stuff. You could join a book club. We're discussing books. And that's pretty much it for now. If there's anything you'd like me to discuss, let me know. Remember to drop a like. It helps a lot. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. This was Ola from Stop Me Out channel.